Good evening. Thought I'd take a minute. I got some peace and quiet for a moment away from the kids. Thought I might shoot this real quick, as I tend to have very little time when it comes to peace and quiet. Usually someone's coming out the door and everything. I don't like sitting here talking to nobody, um, and then having kids running around and you're hearing them yell and everything. Uh, it's just weird for me. Uh, so what's on the mind now? Well, right now, got my little Zulu here, Zulu pipe. I think that's what's called a Zulu shape. This is by K. Woody, Berkshire. This is what it says on the pipe. I like the little pipe, but it tends to heat up rather quickly. I don't know why. I smoke it the same as my other pipes, but um, my Savinelli does not heat up like this one does. This one tends to heat quickly. My my Peterson heats up relatively quick too. So I was reading the Remnant newspaper. This is Catholic stuff, so if you're not Catholic, you're not going to be interested in what I'm discussing right now. Uh, Reading the Remnant, talking about synodal church and the synodal synod and the synodal synod. They love saying that word a lot. And it seems to me that the current leadership in the church is trying to make the church a church of um, a poll, the church of the poll. In other words, as in to take a poll. They got this idea that the sense of the faithful includes non-Catholics as well, like everybody, which is ridiculous. And it feels like they would have this idea that they want to take a worldwide poll. What do y'all think about different issues? And it's leading to a lot of confusion amongst Catholics and non-Catholics alike. It's a huge problem. And it certainly makes my job harder. I'm a teacher, and I teach theology, religion, for high schoolers. And the last thing I need is a pope blessing, like, say, homosexual marriage. And then I gotta explain, well, this is how infallibility works. Not everything the pope says is accurate. I gotta go into that whole thing. It's just confusing for those on the high school level, especially when there's those in the class who are indeed have those attractions and acting on them. And then they're gonna want to throw, say, the pope said this in my face, right? It also makes it harder to deal with people in my day to day when they can say, well, the Pope's doing this, the Pope's doing that. It also makes it more difficult dealing with, say, those who are called conservatives, because then they're going to call the Pope communist and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, it puts me in the middle. Because then I'm like, yeah, he's a bad Pope. Yeah, he's doing things that are bad. Okay, but some of these conservatives who are criticizing him, I'm going, yeah, but you're not much better in a lot of ways too. I hate to break it to you, but you're a heretic, or you have some other thing that you're doing. So it's kind of hard to take your criticism of the Pope seriously. Not that your criticism is necessarily wrong per se. And then there's those who go to another extreme and just, declaring the Pope a heretic and whatnot, which personally I believe he has committed material heresy. Um, Whether or not that's formal heresy is way beyond my pay grade. I have no authority to say so. Only maybe a future pope or the College of Cardinals and Bishops could do that. So it's really awkward because I'm like, well, you're making me almost be in the middle because it's like, well, I agree with some of the criticism, but don't go too far with it. Uh, don't start like throwing out personal attacks, kind of stuff. At the same, on the other end, you got these Pope splainers who want to twist everything into, well, he didn't really say this, he didn't really do that. He didn't mean this, he didn't mean that. Well, the press are taking it out of context. The press are reporting it. He's the Pope. He's one of the most powerful men in the world. He has at his disposal access to other experts to guide him. He himself is trained in theology, philosophy. He's had what? How many years as a priest and a bishop? Okay, he can't claim ignorance at this point. All right. So it's just hard to be Catholic today. I'm surprised there's any converts really, but it's just hard to be Catholic. That being said, Christ founded one church, not thousands, not two, one. It's not Eastern Orthodoxy, although I know they would disagree. It's not Protestantism. There wasn't some grand apostasy early on and the truth is no longer with the church and the Mormons rediscovered it. No. I know if any of you are in those religions, you're going to be upset with me. I understand. Hey, if I was in one of those other religions and like a Baptist or Protestant was telling me all of this, I'd probably be offended too. So that's okay. I respect that. It's okay to be upset. If you weren't upset, or at least somewhat like, oh, you're wrong. If you didn't feel like telling me you're wrong, then you weren't living your faith to begin with. You didn't believe it. It's because you believe your faith that you would say that. So I respect that. And with that said, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. Scripture, history, tradition, it all points to the Catholic Church. And that is the positive side of this whole conversation. There's always hope because Christ founded his church. He's going to stand by it. He's going to protect it. And when this darkness finally passes, we will once again stand in the light. All I got to worry about is what to do with the time that God has given me in my life. Lord knows I do enough to mess that up. Notice I'm very positive today too. I mean, I have my ups and downs. There are times when I'm very negative. I might come up with something very depressing one day and tell you something else in my low moments. Good night, everybody. Ups and downs. Hold on to the truth. That's all that matters. Even when everyone else runs away, leaves you, abandons it. In the end, that's all we got is the truth. In this pilgrimage on earth called life. Even though we're currently living in 1984. I watched that movie today. It's on my mind. Especially the end where they're torturing him. Telling him how he's mentally deranged because he remembers history. Think for yourself. I feel like I'm in the movie nowadays. When I gotta keep my mouth shut on different things and whatnot. Where I'm working wants me to help with the liturgy, the music and whatnot, and they're telling me, oh, if they want to do liturgical dancing, that's okay. The students, they want to have this music they're getting off of YouTube and whatnot, and that's okay. I'm like, oh, I gotta swallow this now. Because Lord knows if I took and put Gregorian chant in the song list, if I said no, the dancing is inappropriate, even though I'm the religion chair, right? If I said all of that, it's going to cause conflict and friction. I'm going to get blowback, possibly more division. And I'm always thinking of my job because I don't have a strong skill set in many different things. It's not easy getting a teaching job in religion. So I do what I'm told, I guess. Maybe that's a sin too. That I can't afford to not have a job with my kids. And I know I have nowhere else to go as far as work-wise. I mean, it really is just me. So God has made it clear that I'm meant to be by myself. So all I have is my kids. In the hope that they'll stay strong in the faith. And then once they move out, that'll be that. That'll be it.